Who do you call to defeat the heat?
Call me Ream.
Ream is marching through the neighborhoods of America.
Call me Ream.
To defeat the heat on the home front, your Ream dealer has a complete line of rugged, efficient air conditioners to reduce utility bills and keep you in comfort year after year. Call him fast, call him reliable, but call him.
Call me Ream.
Your Ream dealer is in the Yellow Pages. Call him to defeat the heat.
You can hear the understandable pride when modern brewers talk about the time they spend brewing their beers, or the time they spend lagering them. True, this reflects effort and care. But for Budweiser, some things take even more time. Like waiting for a big beechwood tree to grow from a small beechwood tree. For all the years past, and the years to come, this is the kind of time and the kind of care that go into your beer. Beechwood aged Budweiser.
Prior to 1980, Philadelphia was the only post-expansion team ever to capture the Stanley Cup, winning in 74 and 75. 6 years after winning the first one, though, the Flyers were also part of the second expansion team to take it all.
Number 10, Henderson. To Pinelli. Here's Pinelli with Knight. A pass to Knight for
Definitely one of the great moments in Stanley Cup history. Bob Nystrom's overtime goal for the New York Islanders in Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals in 1980. The Islanders won the first of 4 consecutive Stanley Cup championships. The Oilers, meanwhile, are trying to pin down Stanley Cup number 4 in 5 years. But to do that, they'll have to get by the Detroit Red Wings after 2 periods tonight at Joe Louis Arena. Edmonton is on top. They lead at 3-2 in a very exciting and competitive hockey game. Well, we had an exciting and competitive hockey game last night at the Meadowlands in New Jersey, despite the fact that the assigned officials on Mother's Day walked out because they were upset that Jim Schoenfeld, due to a court restraining order, was allowed behind the bench to coach the New Jersey Devils. Of course, in the last intermission, we went through the chronological order of events from last Friday through actually early hours of this morning. So what is going to happen tomorrow in Boston? Well, for sure, we do know this. The New Jersey Devils and the Boston Bruins will meet at the Boston Garden tomorrow night for Game 5 of the Wales Conference Finals. The series now tied at 2. Airtime will be 7:30 right here on ESPN. We also know that the National Hockey League has convened an official hearing tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's Eastern Daylight Time. And at that time, all the principals involved in the altercation between Jim Schoenfeld and referee Don Koharski, we are told, all those principals will be there face-to-face wherever that meeting will be held tomorrow afternoon in Boston. The NHL's options are several. They could, if they see fit, suspend Schoenfeld again. They could fine him, or they could do nothing, or they could do a combination of any number of things. We do know that the game will be played. We don't know if Schoenfeld will be behind the bench tomorrow night for New Jersey, so I suggest you tune in at 7:30 Eastern Time tomorrow night when we'll bring you the Devils and the Boston Bruins. We'll bring you the hockey game, plus we'll bring you a whole lot more. We'll bring you, hopefully, a final resolution of this affair that really marred some excellent hockey action this last weekend in New Jersey. In just a moment, my colleague Bill Clement at Joe Louis Arena in Detroit will return with his good buddy, the Telestrator, to analyze some of the action you're seeing tonight as ESPN's Road to the Cup continues.
Our highway to savings is Route 8 near Turnpike Exit 4.
That's where you'll find
McDermott Nissan.
McDermott Nissan.
We want your business.
We're prepared to earn your business.
McDermott Nissan Sentras. Equipped. Low down payment.
Only $133 a month.
McDermott Nissan pickups.
No down payment.
Your monthly payment, $164.
McDermott Nissan Maximus.
Don't pay $18,000.
Don't pay $16,000.
Pay $239 a month.
McDermott Nissan.
Quality products.
Professional service.
McDermott Nissan.
Route 8 near Turnpike Exit 4, North Hills.
The Meadows introduces television you can bet on. Watch every race, bet on every race. It's almost like being there. If you're watching this announcement, you can bet by phone as you watch every Meadows race. Tune in to win every Meadows racing night 1/2 hour before post time. Call now to start your Call-A-Bet account by phone with just a $50 deposit, and you can charge it to your Visa or MasterCard. Make additional deposits and withdrawals anytime. Call-A-Bet, television you can bet on from the Meadows.
Hey, Walter, what's up?
With great taste and just 1 calorie, Diet Coke is the one soft drink everyone's falling for.
Hi.
Hi.
1 calorie just for the taste of it. Diet Coke.
Imagine being so moved by a story of people that you would help them if only they were real. Imagine being so frightened you hide your eyes after one more look. Imagine falling hopelessly, blissfully in love and knowing it will last for only 2 hours. Imagine a whole channel devoted to movies, the Movie Channel. Call your local cable company now to get the Movie Channel.
Shots on goal in the second period tonight, 8-5 in favor of the Edmonton Oilers, but 13 for the Oilers and 13 for the Red Wings throughout the first 2 periods of our hockey game. It's a fairly even game, and he thinks that goal 23 seconds into the second period that really occurred on a Red Wing giveaway and resulted in a goal by Yari Curry could be a key one in this contest before we are through. Now let's go back live to Joe Louis Arena. Bill Clement standing by with his good friend, the telestrator. Bill?
All right, Tom, thanks very much. You're right. It is a close hockey game. It's also very hot in this building. Keep in mind, Steve Yzerman is still questioning his conditioning. Keith Acton, it's the first time he's played in a long time. And Jim Weimer as well for the Oilers is in action. He hasn't been in action for a month. So with this heat, it'll be interesting to see how the coaches play their players in the third period. All right, let's get to the telestrator. We're going to take a look at Bobby Probert's goal that made this hockey game a 3-2 one. They're on the power play, and I'll show you where the Oilers are. There is one in the corner. There's another killer. There's another penalty killer, and one right there. Now, they're spread out. They don't have much of a box working right now, but no problem because the puck is here in the corner. Well, watch where the puck ends up. We'll let it run. You can see that the play is moving out towards the point. We'll stop it right here and show you a problem that the Oilers have. Randy Gregg has gone out there. There's another man in behind him, and here is the third Edmonton Oiler. That means that only Steve Smith is back here. You can see that Gerard Gallant is on this side. Bob Probert's on this side. So really, this man, Steve Smith, could end up with a 2-on-1 situation. That's exactly what happens. Watch the puck come into Gallant here. All right, we'll stop it right here. Gallant has the puck. Smith has a choice. Does he stay here with Probert and hope that one of these guys can get back in time? Or does he move over here to Gallant? Well, he moves over. And we'll stop right there. It was an excellent move by Gallant. Steve Smith right here has to make sure he gets the puck if he goes over there. He didn't. There's the pass to Probert. He jams it home. That made the score 3-2. That's where it stands right now. Now we're also going to take a look at a face-off alignment. Here's the situation. This man is supposed to take Yari Curry if the Red Wings win the draw, because Yari Curry's job is to go out there and take big old Harold Sneps. This man here is Gretzky. He's got to go out there and take Mike O'Connell. Well, we'll let it roll, and you'll see that the Red Wings do win the face-off. All right, stop it right here for a second. You can see that this Red Wing has moved in front of Yari Curry and done his job so far. The puck is on its way back to Harold Sneps. Wayne Gretzky right here is going out to Mike O'Connell, so it's going to be difficult for Sneps to get the puck over to O'Connell. He might try and take a shot. All right, stop it right there. Look at this situation. Good checking by the Red Wing player that's enabled Harold Sneps to spring loose. Kevin Lowe is the only man back. You can see that Wayne Gretzky has done what he has wanted to do over here. He has actually forced Mike O'Connell wide right out of the picture. The two centermen here are locked up. That's good defensive work, too. So Kevin Lowe here is the only man back. Let's see if he goes down to try and block the shot. He does. We'll stop it right there. You can see that Harold Sneps has made a good play. Because Lowe is on the ice, Snepsy made a heads-up play, shot the puck high on Grant Fuhr. Unfortunately for Harold Sneps, that was Grant Fuhr in goal. Excellent save. Nice play by Harold Sneps. That gives you a little indication of what happens on those face-offs concerning all the assignments. Well, 3-2, 20 minutes to go. We'll see if the Red Wings can pull it out. We'll be back shortly.
Anything can happen
When your special dream needs a special financial performance, come to us. Over 200,000 people do to invest in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and insured savings.
My wildest dreams, anything can happen.
Pride in performance. We've built a bank on it. Pittsburgh National.
Call the Pirates Clubhouse store for a free catalog. It's going to be a long, hot summer.
We are in our second intermission. Time once again to take a look at the Prudential scoreboard. A lot of action to take a look at from our second period tonight of Game 4 of the Campbell Conference Finals between the Detroit Red Wings and the Edmonton Oilers. Of course, a must-win for Detroit. Want to try and even this series. They don't want to go to Edmonton on Wednesday night down 3-1. With a score tied at 1 in the second period, Wayne Gretzky skates down and around the back of the net. Eventually, he'll connect with his teammate Yari Curry. He'll shove the pass into the slot. Curry scores the goal and then gets promptly cross-checked by Lee Norwood. No penalty was called. 2-1 Edmonton. Edmonton on the power play. Gretzky the Magician rifling across to a streaking Glenn Anderson. And Glenn Hanlon had no chance to make the save. 3-1 Edmonton. But back comes rambunctious Detroit. They don't fade this Red Wing club. Gerard Gallant getting the puck right there on the power play. Draws the defenseman Steve Smith over to him, and Bob Probert is left on the doorstep. Much as he was in game number 3 of this series. A similar goal scored for Probert there. So it's Edmonton 3 and Detroit 2. Thus endeth the Prudential scoreboard for the second intermission. We'll be back for our third period of play. Who knows? We may have more than 3 periods tonight on the road to the Cup.
Oh, above and beyond, just like you. Above and beyond what we have to do.
I'm a Prudential representative, and I help people review their life insurance needs, because I know how much the right life insurance means to me and my family.
You take pride in your life, so do we. Going above and beyond is our policy. The Rock, the Prudential, above and beyond.
What if things you never thought of in color were suddenly in color? That's how we thought of our new Delta faucets. They'll color the whole way you look at faucets, and maybe everything else. Delta washerless faucets, designs that last.
You can depend on AT&T Long Distance thanks to the remarkable people who put our equipment to the test.
I love wrecking things. This is a special laboratory. Here we create disasters. One disaster right after another. Why do we do all this? Once we understand how these things can destroy long-distance service, we can build equipment that'll stand up to it.
We're reaching further to bring your world closer.
Yeah, the storm's over.
AT&T, the right choice.
Something remarkable happened when people around the country tried out the new, easy-to-use Kodak 35mm cameras. They took the best pictures of their lives.
Honey, game's gonna start soon.
I think I'll give the lawn a quick cut.
Gonna go black.
When you're long on grass and short on time, you need a mower with a Briggs & Stratton engine.
Dad, the pregame show's on!
It'll start quickly and work hard till the job's done.
Sure hope he makes it.
Yes, there he is.
Briggs & Stratton, the power in power equipment.
Speed. Power. More speed. If it has a motor and goes fast, you'll see it on Speed Week every Thursday night at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN.
The Road to the Cup on ESPN, coming tonight from the Motor City of Detroit, is being brought to you by Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires. By Olympus, makers of 35mm cameras and video. And by the makers of Campbell's Chunky Soup. It takes care of the meanest appetite. The Edmonton Oilers are ready. You know the Detroit Red Wings and their fans are ready, but if the Red Wings don't overcome this third period deficit of 3-2, this may be the last period of hockey in the Motor City this season. Let's go back for the third period tonight. Rejoin Mike Emmerich and Bill Clement.
Thank you, Tom, for ushering us through another intermission. Third period about to begin. Let's check out some numbers.
Well, you can see the shots on goal are 13 apiece. That's really a low number, especially for the Oilers. The Red Wings have tried to clamp it down. You see the Oilers have attempted 27 and the Red Wings 21. So if you just look at the percentage rating, it might, or success rating, it might look a little misleading. I don't think it is. This game has been pretty tight right up to date. The Oilers obviously have the lead, so they don't need any more shots on goal. But the last thing they can do is go into a shell. On the other hand, if the Red Wings want to try and open it up, guys like Wayne Gretzky and Mark Messier will pick them apart.
In the second period, 2 of the goals were on power plays. Gretzky set up 2. Curry's an even strength. Anderson's on the power play with Curry. Probert on the power play from Gallant and Sharples. Shots in the game, 13 apiece. And the fans, many of them are standing here to start an ovation that they hope will be a crescendo for success for Detroit in the third period of play. And we should make mention of the fact that attention of ours has not been drawn at all to the referee or the linesman in tonight's game because they've put on their typically professional, solid performance.
And you know, Mike, when you look at this third period, one has to think that this is the Detroit Red Wings hockey season right here. If they can't come back and win this hockey game, they go down 3-1, going back to Edmonton for Game 5. You tell me what kind of chance you think they would have to win the hockey series against the Oilers. So as far as I'm concerned, this is the Red Wings season right here in the third.
Veach fires, Fuhr snags. It's thrown around for Muni. Cut off, though, by Tim Higgins. Impeded by Simpson. 2 Red Wings and an Oiler, and it comes to the 4th man, Simpson, the one who had peeled away. Hands back on to Anderson. Anderson starts. Pass came across for Messier, and we get a stoppage of play with 25 seconds gone in the third period.
Well, this period, you might have noticed, was delayed a moment. It is because Carey Fraser, we are told, has a bad back, and he was letting the Edmonton Oilers massage therapist try and work out some of the kinks in his back.
How about that?
And they claim they get no respect. Guys in getting a rub down between periods. Come on, Carey.
Here is Anderson trying to turn by Norwood. Sent it right across the goal mouth wide. Ooh, and they had Messier all in front. Couldn't get it to him. And then Murphy's pass up the wing. Shabbat had been flipped down and complains that there was no penalty call. Meanwhile, it is Muni connecting with Kevin Lowe. Lowe hands back over to Anderson. 45 seconds into this third period of play. Simpson shovels back to Messier. Messier backhands. Gallant able to take. Gallant for Detroit looks for Shabbat but can't get it there. It has been a tight checking sort of series. Not a whole lot of smooth plays. You can count the number of 3-on-2s that have developed well on one hand for each game. Just not that many. Puck dumped right back along, and it is Lacombe. Yzerman keeps it moving for Detroit. Smith wedges it back off. Waiting for it is Sharples, and he'll play a neutral ice. Sharples' pass goes by Gallant, and so Fuhr will tend behind. Gallant right on him, knocks him down. And now Randy Gregg is there to deal with Gallant, but play moves back, so their attention shifts to the other end of the ice. Pivoting is Lacombe, and the puck swung right away.
That was an interesting situation with Randy Gregg. If he goes out of his way to give Gallant a shot, just to try and protect Grant Fuhr, you know the unwritten rule, don't touch our goalie, he puts the Oilers in a hole and gives the Red Wings a chance on the power play. He just pushed him into the boards with his arms around him to let him know that he meant business, but he didn't take a penalty. It was key. He held back and used some restraint.
And Gallant, sizing up the fact that the goaltender had the puck, that means he's fair game for a check, gave it to him. Here is Ashton, turning it along to Steve Yzerman. Swings it on the wing, but it's tipped away from Barr, though followed up by Zombo. And again, the Oilers must turn to take. McSorley took that one from Grant Fuhr. Tries to work it ahead, cut off by Oates, and a pass to the slot, turned right back. And that was Weimer. Grant Fuhr out to swing it back along to the turning stick of Tikkanen. Can't get it by Zombo. A shot. Oh! Nearly got through on the deflection by Barr. Incredible. McSorley on the puck, but it is lost away from Barr and from Curry, who go waltzing after it. Tipped along to Ashton. Hammered by Weimer. Good solid check by the defenseman. Still they work, and down to the ice goes Oates. Puck played right back along by Tikkanen. Tikkanen advances it to Curry, moving along with Wayne Gretzky. Curry tries to shake Zombo, but can't. Feeds to Tikkanen. Oh, and he went alongside. Centering pass flopped away as Gretzky tried to follow up. Back on with it comes Zombo. 16:45 to go in the third. It is 3-2 Edmonton. If the Oilers continue to go along in this one, they will have a 3-1 edge in the series. Oates lays it, but just a bit too far. Murphy has to chase. Bodied by Lowe. Puck swung back around to Anderson. Tries for Simpson, but he's wedged right off by Shabbat. And Beach could not get the gun fired because the puck was poked away by Anderson. It's fed through Beach. Taken by Muni. And Muni turns one past Messier. 2 shots for Detroit, none for Edmonton in this period thus far, and we played just about 4 minutes. Muni goes back, but Anderson will be the one to take it. Bumped down with Shabbat. Play made by Anderson ahead to Messier. Returns it to Anderson. Anderson moving in. Let a good shot go that seemed to be tipped, but then flapped wide. Simpson finesses behind, but too stiff for Messier. Norwood there to tie him up. Lee Norwood trying to pull away, and Messier working on him with the stick, gets it away. Couldn't connect with Anderson, but here's Smith with a shot save. Rebound popped high by Simpson. Now Simpson tries again. Couldn't get it in. Smith with a shot. Knocked down by the defense and trapped in the equipment of the man just now getting up. That is Tim Higgins. 15:32 to go in the third period. Almost a change in the score, but right now none.
Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free.
Nothing handles weather like an all-weather Michelin.
Nothing's worrying me.
Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
It'll be another test of centerman. Steve Yzerman, the captain of the Detroit Red Wings, against McTavish.
Here's a look at the flurry that was right in front of Glenn Hanlon. There's Beach, number 5. Higgins is number 20. There's the shot by Steve Smith. You know, he made a good play dancing around the check that he had out of the point to get that shot away. Then Messier to Simpson. Look at all the Red Wings in front defending. Steve Smith again with the shot. Sooner or later, Higgins was able to trap it and stop play. But the Oilers, when they press and when they're defense, they were actually gambling on that play, sticking in there. But you can see how dangerous they are when they stay up on the play.
DeLorme's pass too far for Gallant. Tries to fight his way through Gregg, and Steve Smith came back on defense. Just before that replay, you may have caught a glance of Kevin McClellan in the penalty box. That's not a new penalty. He's still serving one from late in the second period, a 10-minute misconduct. Here's Gregg flipping one into Probert. Didn't see it, couldn't control. Gregg flings it. There to get it is Courtnall. Trying to make a play, but can't. Bob Probert's pass, tipped by Smith. Turning back after it for Detroit is Gallant, but Smith arrives first. Checked by Probert. Puck, though, comes to DeLorme, then to Sharples. Dogged by McTavish, and nearly swooping in to pick it up was Courtnall. On with this now comes Yzerman. Trying to step through, can't. Gallant, turnaround shot, and that one deflected wide. Rolled by Hannon. Taken by Courtnall. Shift change Detroit. We get a stoppage of play as the right post and perhaps the left one, too, off the magnets.
Well, you would have to think at this stage of the hockey game with the Red Wings trailing 3-2 that this guy, Steve Yzerman, is going to start getting all kinds of ice time. Here's his chance coming down on Randy Gregg. He is so shifty. His lateral movement is one of the things that puts Steve Yzerman into a category just below, in most people's minds, Wayne Gretzky and Mario Lemieux. Here's Bob Probert moving in front, crunching people out of the way as he has every game. That was Jim Weimer that he moved that time. Probert, he just nudges the net with his elbow, and the thing comes off of its post. There's ice time tonight. Gretzky is right on his pace. Yzerman, last game, only had 13 minutes total of ice time, so he's already surpassed that. This is after 2 periods. Gretzky is right on. Yzerman has been taking more shifts tonight. They're still pretty short. He's going at it easy. That's real smart. Don't overextend. He's still not in game shape. And Gretzky, really, that is not a long average shift length for Wayne Gretzky, and I'm not sure that he hasn't had a relapse of the bit of the flu and the cold that he had. I was talking to him this morning, and he was really seemed congested and was sniffing away a lot as if he had a little more congestion. So that might be one of the reasons that Wayne Gretzky's ice time is his ice time is up there, but he is going short shifts too. You get tired quickly when your respiratory system is jammed up, clogged up with congestion.
If you heard the boards thump, it's because the Cocoon line is out once more. Bridgman snaps and nil. Taking this is O'Connell. Hammers one back. Weimer turns back, but also McSorley hammered by Smith. Nil turns. Nil trying to get by McSorley, but can't. Jari Kurri in deep. Sent that by Mel Bridgman, and back up with it comes Gretzky. Lays it back across to Tikkanen. Tikkanen crosses. Nice little pass to McSorley, then on to Kurri. Step by. Shot turned away. There'll be a penalty coming up to the Red Wings. 13:53 to go in the third. Edmonton with the lead, and for the next 2 minutes, the man advantage.
Before you take a single picture, before you press the shutter, before you autofocus, before you operate the fully motorized extended range zoom lens, before you place it next to your eye, before you even touch it, you're going to want to own it. The incredible 35mm Infinity Super Zoom 300, new from Olympus.
Well, the Oilers on the power play again. Here's what they have done today. They're 1 for 4. They have to get their attack zone time up and direct more rubber at Glenn Hanlon. There's no way they're going to score the way Detroit has been turning over pucks once they have set up. You can see that it has been very ineffective. They are lucky to have that one goal with those kind of numbers.
Jim Nill boxed for interference. 6 minutes and 7 seconds into the third period. Messier with Kurri on his left, Gretzky on his right. Tikkanen right point, left point Steve Smith. Steve Yzerman and Ashton up front to kill it off for Detroit. We also noticed DeLorme. And perhaps right now, it's Lee Norwood across the way. Back it comes to Smith. Lays it over to Tikkanen. Hands to Gretzky. Four-man defensive box is set. Sort of diamond shape now. Tikkanen right back over to Gretzky again. Smith had it hop off his stick, but is able to keep play moving. Along to Kurri, chops one for Messier. Moving in is Norwood, wedged down by Messier. Puck squirts loose to Messier, has Gretzky to pass to. Controls himself. Ashton there to force him on the pass. Gretzky to Kurri, one-timer, skidding out to make the play as Hanlon is cleared.
Boy, the Red Wings were lucky there. Jari Kurri was moving away from the net when the pass came, so he really wasn't able to tee it up and really jam a good one-timer at Hanlon. He didn't get much on it.
Wayne Gretzky starts to move it back out. 1 minute, 15 seconds to go on the minor to Jim Nill. Kurri knocked it down. Dave Barr starts ahead. He's got a man breaking Shabbat. An offside call as that very sophisticated bit of communication between one winger and another just slightly off, and Shabbat was in early.
Boy, you can reduce that sophisticated communication to something very basic. It's called scream your guts out when you're open. And if Shabbat didn't, I don't know, somebody would have to talk to him. If he did, then Dave Barr would be the guy to talk to. Here's a look at the shot that Jari Kurri had on Glenn Hanlon. He did direct it on the net, but it wasn't a full blast from Jari Kurri. But that last offside coming down, if Shabbat is screaming and not getting the puck, then you have to look at a guy like Dave Barr and say, hey, listen, when you have somebody that's yelling at you that loud, you have no choice. You have to assume that he is open and needs the puck. You have to trust the guy that's yelling at you. And if Shabbat wasn't yelling, he needs to start.
Gretzky shovels on over. Turning with it is Glenn Anderson. Matched stride for stride by O'Connell. Low tips to Anderson. Barr challenges, so does Zombo. Anderson stick knocked away, and then Hanlon, with Anderson right in front of him, was able to wall it. Turning with it is Gretzky. Little pass in front, tipped away by Hanlon, and it's skipped by Kevin Lowe. Oh, and the Red Wings fortunate again. 35 seconds to go on the power play. 12 and a half remaining, third period. Stifling heat tonight at Joe Louis Arena, sold-out arena, tight game, 3-2 the Oilers. Here is Gretzky. Passes back to Steve Smith. Gives it to Weimer. Weimer with a shot. Knocked down in front by Norwood. Hurries it back along to Shabbat. 18 seconds of time still to kill. On with it comes Yzerman. Yzerman flips one that skipped right by Anderson. Crowd reacting to something, I think, away from the play. But here is Norwood for Detroit. Bounces one to Brent Ashton. Along with Yzerman, they drop it in deep. 2 seconds. One out of the box comes Mill. 11:50 to go in the third of a 3-2 Edmonton advantage. Play made up the wing to Randy Gregg. Gregg passes across. Gretzky wanted to feed Messier, and the puck cut off by Barr. The little play seems so big now as on comes Oates. Oates pivoting. Looks towards Zumbo. Gives to O'Connell. Slams one. Save made by Fjord. Rebound. Zumbo pivoting. Feeds it back to O'Connell. Can't control. Dogged on the play by Tikkanen. Gets it to Oates. Across for a shot. Deflected away by Lowe off Ashton's stick. Esa Tikkanen to get it. Just skies one all the way back down. There'll be an icing call as the clock stopped with 11:09 to go in the third. Still Edmonton 3 and the Red Wings 2.
Being 7 feet 2 has its disadvantages. Like I've got the biggest stomach on the team. When I get hungry, you can hear my stomach growling in the next area code. And when that happens, I pick up some Campbell's Chunky.
Nothing takes care of a mean appetite like the hearty chunks of beef and garden vegetables in Campbell's Chunky Beef Soup.
I look for two things in the kitchen. Chunky and high ceilings.
Campbell's Chunky. It takes care of the meanest appetites.
The road to the Cup in round 3. New Jersey, Boston, Detroit, and Edmonton. The only 4 standing out of the field of 16. Sellout number 40 in a row tonight for the Detroit Red Wings. That constitutes over 19,250. They sell standing room just short of 600. Here is a 2-on-1. Ashton stepping in. Has to peel off and play deep. To get it is Oates. Checked by McTavish. Oates trying to turn away with it and is able to shovel one back for Ashton. Lowe is there, and it's pumped right back along, hoping to turn it back out, but failing with Simpson. Loose puck to Adam Oates. Wanted to shake to the front, but denied by the checking of McTavish. It is Delorme to Sharple. Flips one that is tipped away, and here come the Oilers. Hustling to get back is Delorme. And we get an offside call at the line as Bob Probert came from the bench on a change in personnel and slowed the play down. Bob Probert is wound up in very highly regarded company tonight. Only Gordie Howe had fashioned 20 points in a playoff series for the Detroit Red Wings up till now. 9 goals, 11 assists. Well, Bob Probert has 7 and 13. He also with 20, and that is in a playoff year.
I'd say that's not bad company. Absolutely. It's Bob Probert, Gordie Howe. Well, that tells you, to a degree, that might be misleading to some people. A lot of years between 1955 and now, the Detroit Red Wings haven't even been close to the playoffs, so there hasn't been that much competition. But let's not take anything away from Bob Probert. He has had an outstanding playoffs for the Red Wings.
Norwood's try for Probert, taken by Weimer. Scaled, but to Beach. Fires one. Save with rebound in front. Yzerman trying to tuck it in. So is Gallant, and on top of it, Fjord. That came in so fast, I'm not sure if it glanced off Fjord and then came to the side of the net or not. Perhaps we'll get a look. But that'll be 30 seconds away. 10:06 left in the third. Scoreboard still frozen.
Trickle, trickle, a drip drop, doing the 7-Up raindrop bop. Splash, splash, don't stop the 7-Up raindrop bop. 'Cause it feels so good, coming down, down, down on the top. Splash, splash, we like this.
Pop about the top and do the raindrop bop.
7-Up feels so good, the raindrop drop, drop your bottom now.
Staccato rhythm as the puck won by the Oilers from the face-off. Krushelnyski tries to chop it. Beach says no. Still they work, and it is off Yzerman, but taken right back and laid out by Krushelnyski. Striding back for this one for the Oilers is Glenn Anderson, but it's knocked away from him, and then a healthy collision back behind the net between Anderson and Norwood. And we get an offside call as while they were still down, the puck thrown back in by the Oilers.
Well, what a workhorse Norwood has been. We talked a little bit earlier in the game about his ice time, and you mentioned him against Gretzky. Well, Jacques Demers said, not only today, but before the Game 3 here 2 nights ago, that he wanted Lee Norwood against Mark Messier. And I said, why? He said he's the only guy that's big enough and physical enough to try and stop Mark Messier when he telegraphs what he wants to do. Norwood's about 200 pounds, but a guy can get worn down. Lee Norwood told me that at the end of Game 3 2 nights ago, he looked down the bench to Jacques Demers and said, you better give the kids a few shifts. These legs are having trouble carrying me out there. It's getting pretty hot, and I'm pretty tired.
Very hot in the arena tonight. Norwood, 28 years of age, pardon me, and a native of Oakland, California, goes for a rest, replaced by Sharples, matched up with DeLorme. Gallant, Yzerman, and Bob Probert. Probert straight across that imaginary line going through the faceoff, and so it is not conducted yet. Keith Acton, one of the few changes in the Oilers lineup in the entire playoffs. Lost that draw. Red Wings turn it out, but the Oilers able to control. Smith back to Gregg and across to Kevin McClellan. McClellan run at by Gallant after he turned that one loose. Inconsequential, but not just as Acton moves. Sent one off Hanlon. Backhander blocked away by Hanlon, as getting that try away was Anderson. Centering pass for Krushelnyski. Threaded to the front, but poked away by DeLorme. Anderson muscled right off by DeLorme, but the puck still must be battled for. Krushelnyski ridden down by the shove of Sharples, but it's Anderson with a quick shot that's blocked away. That may not have been a goal had it gone sailing through, because Acton was standing in the goaltender's crease at the time. Turning with this now is Yzerman. Along to Sharples, tried for Gallant. Pressed off, though, by Muni. All the way down, Kevin Lowe goes. There'll be no icing here. Puck continues to move as Lowe was hit by Bob Probert. 8:45 left in the third. 3-2 the score. The Edmonton Oilers are ahead. Norwood goes back to get it. Oates and Probert have the goals for Detroit. Simpson, Curry, and Anderson for Edmonton in the game. It was 1-1 after 1. And 3-2 at the end of 2. There's been no scoring now for over 20 minutes of playing time. John Shabbat starts in. Sidesteps a check, turns it along to Bridgman. Backhander in front. That one cut off and sped back out by Lowe. In stride to Wayne Gretzky. Slams on the brakes. Feeds it over for Curry, but it is knocked away. And then Gretzky just fires one back in. Around it swirls to John Shabbat. Flips for Bridgman. Trying to get away from Gretzky's checking, but doesn't succeed. Now it's Norwood. Sailing one by Tim Higgins down. Tikkanen goes back, and he touched it first. We have an icing call. 7:59 to go in the third. Still 3-2 Oilers.
While other airlines have prohibited smoking on flights under 2 hours, only Northwest has eliminated smoking on all flights throughout North America.
Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! Northwest, Northwest, North.
Hi there. You looking for Mr. Right?
Give this guy a light. And Bud Light here.
Ask for Bud Light, the light beer with the first name and taste. Because everything else is just a light.
Thanks. Keep the change.
The two coaches, Glenn Sather, who has been with the Edmonton Oilers since they were in the WHA, and another coach in his 17th year, Jacques Demers. The man on the left holds the titles of president, general manager, and co-coach with John Muckler. The Quebec Nordiques, after the season is over, would like to make Jacques Demers their general manager. We understand as Oates feeds to Ashton. Oh, Rising shot was off the mark. Puck kept along by Zombo. Turning is Ashton. Bothered by McSorley, and Curry in to help. Off the glove of Tikkanen. Bothered right there by Oates, and with it is Barr. Tries for Oates. Down he goes. There'll be a penalty coming up to the Oilers. It'll likely be Jim Weimer. Curry comes by to have a word with Brent Ashton. But the Red Wings continue to say to each other out there, no more involvement. We've got the power play. We want to keep it.
Well, while they're sorting this out, Weimer's making his way to the penalty box. Let's take a look at our telestrator situation that we have here. Here is a 2-on-1. There was Oates and there was Ashton. There's one of the Oilers catching him. Now, we'll let it roll. You'll see the man on the left has the puck. Oates is ahead of him. But we'll stop it right there and see that Ashton never does get it over to Oates, and that's how Craig McTavish caught Adam Oates. You'll see that a 2-on-1 turned into a 2-on-2 right there, just because the puck wasn't head man. It's so key, and I've seen it 5 times. Finally, we got a decent shot of it. That's not the best angle to show it to you from, but we have certain restrictions with the telestrator, certain cameras at certain angles. But I've seen at least 5 times. A couple of times Eiserman was even thrown offside because nobody would give him the puck.
Weimer is off for hooking at 12:27. You mentioned Eiserman, he's out. Bob Probert is on his left. Gallant on his right. Right defense O'Connell, left defense Sharples. McTavish and Gregg, along with Mark Messier and Kevin Lowe. They are the 4 Oilers. Pinching is Sharples. Rolls it for Probert, checked by Gregg, gets it to Gallant, points it back to Mike O'Connell. Right back over to Sharples. Fires one, and a kneeling play made there by Gregg. O'Connell banks it back off for Eiserman. Checked. Swatted at by Gregg. Puck comes over to Probert. Back to Eiserman once more. Leaned on by Randy Gregg. Eiserman with a little yank of the backhand pass to Probert. Probert fends away the checking of Gregg with his arm out in front. Puts it wide. Able to get it is O'Connell. Bounced it by Eiserman. Gregg tries the other way. Can't go. Tries the near side and winds it, but not all the way out. O'Connell taps back along to Eiserman. Side of the net. Gallant in front.
The big man just keeps on rolling, and what a time he picked for this goal that ties the game at 3. Watch the puck behind the net. Randy Gregg tries to slam it around. It never makes it around. It got stopped behind the net and then came back this way. So Michael O'Connell dumps it in again to Eiserman. Gallant to Probert. You could see Mark Messier was trying to get back in there, but the Oilers have broken down again. They ended up with only 1 man back in front. You could see Randy Gregg went out to try and block the shot. That left Steve Smith all alone in front. Mark Messier couldn't get back in time. And the big guy for Detroit, Bob Probert, has taken this crowd into a frenzy.
It is deafening for us. We watch this play develop once more.
Watch in front. It's another 2-on-1 situation. I mean, how much can Steve Smith spread out? You got Gallant, you got Probert there. You can chase too much, Mike. It's nice to be aggressive when you're killing penalties, but when one guy moves out of the box, the whole box has to adjust. That time it did, and Smith was left all alone.
Detroit power play got on track in Game 3. It is rolling now in Game 4. 3 Detroit goals. All 3 have come on the power play. It is deafening here. We're not sure how all of this is translated over our satellite to you at home. Undoubtedly, you've heard a lot of noise from the crowd, but we can hardly hear when celebrations occur as just did a moment ago. Here's Wayne Gretzky pivoting. Has Curry drifting to the front and tried for him, but it's poked away by Hanlon. Red Wings start back out. Up the wing comes Higgins. Drops it back off to Shabbat. Bridgman at the front. It's finessed back to O'Connell. Green set up. They bank it off to Bridgman. Bridgman centers one. It's pinballed off skate contained to O'Connell, who just lost one in front. Jumbled by Fury. And it went behind him and off the goal post. Incredible. Back ahead comes Craig Simpson with 6 minutes to go. Over to Gretzky. Tries for Simpson, but it went through him. Simpson plays the bounce nicely. Pivots there and has Curry nearby. Back it comes for Weimer. Big drive, save made. Rebound, unable to reach it as Hanlon. And so Zombo took his man out. McSorley in deep. Checked on the play by Mel Bridgman. Zombo around to get it to Detroit. Turns it loose back out to John Shabbat. Shabbat eyed up by Weimer. Wants some help, got it, but the pass went off Messier and around to McSorley. 5.5 to go. Third period of play. Detroit trailed at one point 3-1. They've evened the game at 3. Well, had nothing changed at least a couple of officials to come out of the seat, shouldn't there?
You know, while most of the surge by the Red Wings was just going on, Tikkanen limped to the bench. He was holding what looked like his collarbone. I thought he was favoring his shoulder, but it turns out he had just been hit up near his collarbone, and I wondered who it was. Here's a look at the replay just at the other end. Look at that. A one-hand stick comes through and moves it out of the way. Kevin Lowe reaches back and saves the day for the Oilers. But Tikkanen went to the bench. When Higgins created the hit, then Tikkanen leaned over as far as he could and took a two-hand swing at Tim Higgins and just missed him. None of the officials saw it.
Muir will just trap and hang on. And there'll be another face-off to come near him with 5:19 left in the third. The last Edmonton goal came 4:03 into the second. Since then, 2 Bob Probert power play goals have brought Detroit even.
Watch Tikkanen right there in the middle of the screen. See him going down. Higgins has just hit him up in the chest, up above his shoulder pad. Higgins 20, heading away with a puck. That's what started it all.
Norwood shot just wide. Mike Krushelnyski charges back up with it for Edmonton, but can't get by the Detroit defense. Mike O'Connell right back along to Ashton. What a hit placed on Ashton. That was by Glenn Anderson. Now still they were. Puck taken by Ashton, wedged off by Smith. Smith tried to flip one out in front, but that wouldn't go for Probert. Probert checked off by Gregg. In to get it is Oates. Tried to center. Ashton flips to Probert. Save by Fjord. He was looking behind. He thought it might have trickled through. And now some shoving, and it becomes far more aggressive behind the net.
Boy, it sure does. Mark Messier moved in. Boy, I could have sworn he choked up and gave Brett Ashton a bit of a spear there. Whew. Bob Probert with a chance to put the Red Wings ahead on a great feed in front. You know, he made a transition from taking the pass to shooting pretty well. He's not given enough credit for having good hands. He's worked on his skills. You know, I can't believe how he has emerged as a leader of this team. Watch the situation in front of the net. Here's the backhand pass to Probert. Now he has to knock it down. See how he's just spun around and got a quick backhander away? One more look at it. Ashton into Probert. Probert's hardly in a position to shoot it there, but it didn't take him long to tee it up, did it? Adam Oates.
I wonder if the old Bob Probert would have taken that left from the glove like Glenn Anderson and not said something or come back. Let's weigh that as we have a tie game here at Joe Louis Arena.
At BASF, we believe to see in new ways, you need to see with more than one pair of eyes. Synchronize your energies with the people down the hall and around the world. Because the more ideas you can build on, the higher we can all reach. From agribusiness to healthcare, we're creating new worlds by seeing in new ways. BASF, the spirit of innovation.
We have penalties that are canceling, and so there'll be no shortage of manpower on the ice. Steve Smith is off, and importantly for Detroit, Adam Oates is also off the ice. But it is Yzerman to take the faceoff. Game tied at 3. Edmonton leading the series 2-1. 4:45 to go, regulation time. Off the faceoff, Muni able to outreach Yzerman. And ahead with it now come the Oilers. Mike Krushelnyski steps ahead with Lacombe. Can't penetrate. Stoppage of play anyway, and it could have been for an offside. We saw the linesmen move in quickly because they anticipated that there would be an altercation, and so we didn't get the initial signal from them, but that appears to be the case. Top of your screen. Oh, we just lost it. At the top of the screen, they are standing 3 and 4 deep around the ring of the lower bowl. John Van Beesbrook, goaltender for the Rangers, used to be one of them who used to stand there, and he said, I had to get here so early because I'm only 5'7". I have to get a rail shot or you can't see all night. Here is Lee Norwood. Over for DeLorme. Pass onside for Probert. Puck turned right back along, and Kevin McClellan checked, but it's followed up by Ashton in for Krushelnyski. Couldn't put it home. And now Eiserman came around on, I believe, Krushelnyski.
He sure did. He sure did. And Krushelnyski made a very disciplined play by simply turning away from him. Kerry Fraser saw the whole thing. I'm anxious to see what he called. But, you know, Acton put it right on Krushelnyski's tape in front of the net. Krushelnyski made a move. Maybe he looked up and didn't see anything, but I thought he was going to shovel a shot. As it turned out, once more, remember, 2 in the first period, that's a point blanker for the Oilers where they don't even get good wood on it. Acton makes a great play to go around. Now watch. Was a little too far ahead of him. That's why he didn't shoot. He reached out with one hand to stop the puck, and before he could catch up to it, it was already by the net. Glenn Hanlon was spared. Another point-blank shot again.
Bill, do you ever have a pause in the action like this as a player to even think about the pressure?
No way. Your focus is so strong right now. Everybody's is. Wow, there's a look at Steve Eiserman. He's in the penalty box. Now, we said that he had taken that swing at Krushelnyski. Watch Eiserman, 19, going behind the net. Krushelnyski moves him out of the way, but watch. That's the left-hand go. It's the right. Man, that's a... Now look at Krushelnyski. He just turns out of the way. Great play by Mike Krushelnyski, except, look at this. He got called.
For his initial foray with the stick, I think that's the reason he's been taken off, too. So the penalties cancel. Not only Steve Eiserman, but also Adam Oates lost to the Red Wings for a little while.
Mike, we talked about pressure. At this stage of the hockey game, your focus is so strong that you don't have time to even think about pressure. You've got to concentrate on what you have to do on the ice.
Low with a drive, blocked away by Tim Higgins. And Shabbat wrestles this man Tikkanen off, but Tikkanen recovers. Gets it back to Muni. Muni with a pass over to Gretzky. Gretzky feeds one in front, and Tikkanen goes down. Loose puck scooped up by Zombo. Hands on to Higgins. Outlet play over to Mel Bridgman, but we get a stoppage of play as Shabbat glaring at Tikkanen back in the Detroit zone.
Well, they're both going on. They were going at it full speed right in front of the net and right in front of Kerry Fraser, too. John Shabbat is feeling his nose. Tikkanen lost his helmet. Shabbat got nicked in the face, and then he started swinging his sticks even after all of that. Shabbat looked as if he wanted to drop the gloves and go, but keep in mind, nobody is going to drop the gloves and grab onto another player because he'll get the extra penalty, and the Oilers especially know about that. It happened to them twice in Game 1. Here's a look at him. Watch the front of your net. There with the pile to the right of your screen. Tikkanen's helmet is already off. Shabbat is still there fighting it out with him, and they're just ripping each other apart with their sticks. Watch Tikkanen here with the stick. So Shabbat goes to the box. That means Eiserman is in the box. Oates is in the box. Shabbat is in the box. Guess what position they play?
Center.
All centers. Mel Bridgman is going to get as much ice time as he's ever had in one, two-minute stretch right now. He's the only centerman that they have left.
And it is not an automatic exit from the penalty box for either the three when their time's up. They must wait for the first whistle after their penalty has expired because these are all coincidentals. Offside called from the faceoff, and so another neutralized draw to take place. Detroit with 21 shots, Edmonton with 18. Meaningless stat. The big one is on the board. Game tied at 3 with 3:50 to go in the third period. Harold Snepps has moved up on the left wing now, along with Jim Nill. As O'Connell plays it over to Zombo. Along for Nill, can't get a pass away, but it came through to Bridgman. Muni in, Snepps takes him off the play. Hustling play by Nill, keeps it alive for Bridgman, off Snepps, and it's forced away by Fuhr. What a lot of work by that line. 2 33-year-olds and a 30. Gretzky putting on a bit of a skating show. Lays it right back off, and they work it in toward the Zombo corner, trying to get in as well as Courtnall, but he was taken off by Zombo. Zombo feathers a little pass to Bridgman, starts back out with Harold Snepps. 3:10 to go in the third period of play. Around the descent, Yari Curry in deep for Edmonton, playing it on to McSorley. Shift change on, and Joe Murphy comes out for Detroit. This one laid back around, and Ashton is there, but it's quickly taken from him. Nice pivot by Yari Curry. Hands it up to McSorley. Then on to Gretzky. Has Courtnall on his left. Feeds up on the right for McSorley, but the play was bumped down by Detroit and rolled back by Murphy. 2:40 to go. Courtnall lays it back over to Mark Messier. Moving on Lee Norwood. Messier dips the shoulder, tries to force it in front, and save made by Hanlon. Puck cleared away by DeLorme. We get a stoppage of play and a slashing call coming up to Detroit with 2:31 to go in the third.
You know, the drama has built slowly but surely in this third period. Mark Messier here. Did you see the chop he took from Norwood? He was able to get his hands in front for the shot, but Hanlon figured he couldn't get it up high enough over him and went down to stop him again. And there's Lee Norwood. Gosh, I thought it was a call on Murphy, who actually pulled down one of the Oilers going into the net. Did he get called for that chop on Messier when he was breaking for the net?
Had to be. Slash is the indication at 17:29.
Who's still on the bench in the penalty box? Norwood is there now. You've got to know he is a key penalty killer, right? For the Red Wings. Yzerman is in there. They could definitely use him at this stage of the hockey game.
Adam Oates has been released just on this stoppage of play. So he has served his time plus. 2:31 to go in the third. Game tied at 3. And all the guns are out for the Oilers. Kevin Lowe has spotted some debris on the ice thrown in protest by a fan, and so Kevin Collins, the linesman, will take care of that. Messier, Gretzky, Anderson, as well as Craig Simpson and Steve Smith for Edmonton. The Iron Four for Detroit. Zombo, DeLorme, Oates, Ashton. I wonder what magic he might have in his stick for this particular point in the game.
You know, there's something loaded in there. It's hiding somewhere.
Remember that triple spinorama in the first game against Detroit?
Oh. One of the things about Wayne Gretzky that makes him so elusive is that he has a shorter turning radius than just about anybody in hockey. People have to turn wider so they're easier to track down. Wayne can escape you so quickly with that quick turn. Look at that. 1 for 5, 3 for 5.
Here it comes. Back to Curry. Over to Gretzky. Gretzky gives to Messier. Slot to Smith, and his shot knocked down by Oates and flung back down. Grant Fuhr leads for Curry. 2 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the third. 1:39 left on the power play to Edmonton. Jari Kurri advances it on to Messier. Moves in stride and gives the puck back over to Gretzky, then on the point to Kurri. Kurri deals it to Messier. Feeds it back to Smith. Winds up and fires, and that one blocked away by Zombo. Sent in deep. They hope for Gretzky, but get O'Connell, though it is Kurri to keep it moving. Kurri lays it right back around to Mark Messier. Then it comes to Gretzky. One-timer by Kurri, ricocheted off bar, and the Oilers have to regroup. 1:05 to go on the Edmonton power play. In comes Jari Kurri. Turns it over to Anderson, then to Gretzky. Back to Kurri, who keeps play moving around for Anderson, but it squibbed through. Smith is there, took the hit from Ashton, tried to advance. Zombo knocked it down, and Messier nearly had a chance at the front, but the puck was behind and cleared by the Red Wings. So much a game of bounces and inches, and that time it looked as though Messier would have the best chance anyone's had on a power play from Edmonton tonight. And here comes Simpson. Cannons one into Hannon. Drilled right back along by Higgins. Glenn Hanlon came up with an important one that time. 22 seconds to go on the power play and 50 seconds remaining in regulation time. If we have overtime, it will be preceded by a full-length intermission. Off of DeLorme. Hanlon scoots back into the goal and had to block that one away from Messier. Trying to clear Bridgman. Help came from Smith. 2 seconds. 1 second. Out of the box, Norwood. They've killed it off. Standing ovation here at Joe Louis Arena. 25 seconds away is sudden death overtime. Nothing much happening right now as Kevin Lowe just watching the clock.
Boy, what a mistake, though.
Absolutely.
What a mistake he made. He's standing behind the net, pretending to get things organized and trying to run the clock out. And I think Kerry Fraser made the right call. He blew it down. You can see Kevin Lowe is incensed behind the net. Look at Fraser. He's going to give him a penalty if he does anything else. So now the face-off comes with 15 seconds to go deep in the Oilers zone. And boy, you got to question that move by Kevin right there. He was motioning the people to move, and they were just going about it too slowly. I say Fraser made an excellent call right there.
Absolutely. You have to keep the puck in motion. You have to be making a play with it back there. 15 seconds to go. And initially, we've seen Norwood and Beach come out, but now some changes made, and Steve Yzerman, who has been dismissed from the penalty box after his minor penalty, will be the guy who will come out to take what could be the most important face-off in the year for Detroit. He'll have Gallant and Probert. He'll have Norwood on the left and Beach on the right, and Mark Messier will be the guy who will come out to represent the Oilers.
Now keep in mind, there's no goalie pulled, there's no penalty here, so it's a 5-on-5 situation. It's hardly as crucial as if the Red Wings had a man advantage, but still, it's something the Oilers didn't need.
Messier will come out and watch this one, be a part of it, but it'll be Krushelnyski out. Oilers going with 2 centermen in case one gets chased out on a false start. From the draw, puck comes over to Gerard Gallant. Back it comes to Norwood, and the shot broken up. Gallant tries to reach it through. Krushelnyski kicks it away. Gallant keeps play moving. 5 seconds to go. Drags back, rolls it along, pinching his beat. As the horn sounds, and this one will take at least 1 extra period. Now an exchange between Steve Smith and Yzerman.
Probert was in the middle of it as well, but backed away. It was Yzerman that really gave Smith a shot.
"60 minutes has not been enough. Once peace is restored, there will be a full-fledged sudden death overtime. The game can end at any moment. And as those of you who follow hockey know, that in the playoffs, you play until there's a winner. In a warm arena on the shores of the Detroit River, these fans will calm down for 15 minutes and then be ready to roar again.
Well, I'm not sure how much they're going to calm down. They might cool off a little bit, but they have to be proud of their Red Wings, especially the Red Wings power play. That is what has saved them in this hockey game tonight. Twice Bob Probert has scored on 2-on-1 situations when the Oilers have broken down. So power plays for Detroit really have been the name of the game. And there's a look at some of their numbers. As you can see, they've only had the man advantage 5 times. They've scored on 3 of them. They've spent about half of the time in the attack zone, which is adequate. We've tracked this most of the year, and we found that good teams, if they can spend half of the time in the attack zone and muster 2 to 3 shots per power play, are going to do something constructive. And the Red Wings have done just that. But they really got a lot of help from the Oilers, who broke down a couple of times in key situations. On the other hand, this is what the Oilers have done. Look at that. 3:35 only out of 11 minutes and 27 seconds of attack time. 4 shots, 3 quality shots, 1 point shot. And you know the one goal they got was that one where Glenn Anderson came streaking across the blue line and got the drop pass from Gretzky. They hadn't even set up in the zone. It was just a bang-bang play that Detroit couldn't even defend against.
Bob Probert, 2 power play goals. Adam Oates with 1. Curry and Simpson even strength. Anderson a power play goal for Edmonton. Game 4 of this best of 7 takes at least 1 overtime. We'll be going back to Tom Mees in just a moment.